A quick reaction to Real Sociedad versus Real Madrid.
And Sid Lowe has managed to stay dry somehow in San Sebastian. Sid, talk us through what we saw tonight.
Well, we saw in the second half more or less what we saw in the first half, and this is what we were talking about at half-time, which was a Real Sociedad side that had quite a lot of the ball, that was reasonably creative with it, that had a lot of the territorial advantage, but that couldn't find a finish and couldn't create sufficient numbers of really clear chances to have scored, and that Real Madrid scored from really not very much. Ali at half-time, I think, described it as scoring from absolutely nothing. By the end of the game, there wasn't a huge amount more added to that. And as you say, Real Madrid, that little bit closer to a league title that's been really theirs, I think, since they put 4 goals past Girona. What's that, about 5 or 6 weeks ago? I think from that point on, we all knew that league title was only going to one place.
So I do have to agree with Sid that La Liga title for Real Madrid is so close. So as of now, Real Madrid has 5 matches left in La Liga. All they have to do, win 1 match and draw 1 match, and they will win the La Liga title. So this is very, very close. And when it comes to performance, I also have to agree with Sid that in terms of performance for Real Madrid, all they did is bare minimum. What is the bare minimum? Maybe win or loss or draw. It doesn't matter at this moment for Real Madrid. A draw or win is just enough for Real Madrid. So given that, I say it's okay performance. Also, I have to agree with him that we created 1 chance out of nothing at first half. Like the way we were playing, we only had 2 big touch, that's it. Like one very beautiful pass from Tchouaméni to Carvajal. That's a tremendously beautiful pass, I would say. And that volley pass to Arda Guler, that's insane by Carvajal. And Arda Guler just in right place to finish the goal. And today is just another day. Guler proved his doubters wrong, that he's a talented player, and he again proves that he deserves more time.
A lot of changes we saw tonight, Luis. Lots of rotations for Ancelotti with that big game in the Champions League ahead, and they still won the game.
Yes, that's the way that Real Madrid has been handling almost for 2-3 months, every single game at the weekends. Very focused on the Champions League, but every weekend just making bigger and bigger the gap between them and first Girona and after Barcelona. Once again, with the rotation, we wanted to see Arda Guler what he can offer to this Real Madrid side. And, well, he wasn't involved much, but in the right moments. Some skills, I think that ability is something that we all knew. The talent that a young player can bring to the creation or creativity at the front. But that fantastic goal that put the leading for Real Madrid, and at the end, it deserved the 3 points. So, a lot of rotation, but once again, the focus is on the Champions League in midweek, and it was a matter of time for Real Madrid to lift the trophy. They are closer and closer, and, well, Barcelona will have to wait for next year.
So one good point made by Luis Garcia is that the things that differentiates this season's Real Madrid compared to last season is that game management. This season, the way Real Madrid managed some games, that's incredible. For example, if they needed to play well, they played well. If they needed to play defensive football, they played defensive football. All they cared is winning match anyhow. It could be defensive, it could be attacking. For example, we played super scintillating football against our main rival this season, Girona, for the most long period of time, right? Barca wasn't the contender until recently.
When Bayern take a look at Real Madrid's record this season, they've actually only lost 2 games all season, and those 2 games were both to Atleti, Ale. And yet again, they've got the job done tonight, and not with their first team either.
So before listening to Ale's answer of this question, just look at the screen. We only had 2 losses in the whole season. That's incredible. Just think about the bigger picture. Like, we didn't have Benzema, he left, and we had Hustle as a striker. Then our biggest player probably last season was Courtois, the most important player, got injured. And our 2 biggest defenders, most important defenders, Militao, Alaba, got ACL, and so many other injuries. We still pull this record? That's insane.
Yeah, this was the definition of an alternative team for Carlo Ancelotti and Real Madrid. And we mentioned in the pregame, look, if there was ever a time to play Real Madrid, this is it. Real Sociedad didn't quite get the memo. Never really troubled Real Madrid. There was a stat that came on screen late in the match that said chances created. And it was Real Sociedad 6, Real Madrid 1. But that's all they needed. One. Real Sociedad could have played this match until midnight. Actually, you know what? Until tomorrow, and they still wouldn't score, right? They don't believe they can score, and so Real Madrid, very solid, just behind the ball, said, okay, you have the ball, to Rientes, to Subimendi, to Oyarzábal, to Taquecubo, and back around to Rientes, and here we go again. And it happened time and time and time again, never threatening behind, never threatened with service into the 18-yard box.
So LA said that if this match would go next day, Real Sociedad would not even score any goal. I'll go even more than that. I'll say this match can go like for 10 days in a row. There will be no goal from Real Sociedad. As much as they're good at defensively and pressing at midfield, their chance creation and their finishing is horrible. And there's a reason why they're not top 4 this season, right? And I haven't even mentioned that we played our B team today. Given that Real Sociedad could not even score any goal, that shows their quality in final third.
Never threatened to turn Real Madrid around. No, none of that was happening. And Real Madrid, without doing much, and at halftime, and Sid said it, they hadn't done a whole lot of anything. They didn't do much more in the second half. Even the guys that came on the field, you're thinking, okay, well, now Vini comes on the field, Valverde comes on the field, maybe we're going to see something different. No, Vini came on the field as a bunch of turnovers. It didn't get much better for Real Madrid, but it didn't need to. And I think that is Real Madrid. I think if you want to define Real Madrid this season in La Liga, they did what was required. In order to win the title, they did what was required. They beat Girona when they had to beat Girona. They beat Barcelona when they had to beat Barcelona. And when they had to play these games that felt like, man, I can't believe we have to go to San Sebastián. It's going to be rain. It's going to be wet. How are we going to do this alternative team? They did enough. They win the game. In the case of Arda Guler, this is what I would say. If you want to define his game, you can look at the goal if you want to. There's a touch in the 67th minute when the ball comes from Luka Modric, and he feels the pressure of Javier Galán getting tied to him, and he just kind of flicks it over to himself. And in that moment, you kind of go, yeah, the goal, important, wins the 3 points. But that touch, I like that. There is substance to his game. We just need to see more of it more consistently.
Yeah, very excited to see.
Okay, first thing first, I have to agree with LA that flick by Arda was just beautiful. Also, I also have to agree with LA about his match performance evaluation today. Like, despite playing B team, I never felt we'll lose today. When I was watching this game live, just like a snooze fest for Real Madrid's point of view. But I was never angry. I wasn't dissatisfied. I'm like, okay, let our B team players do whatever they do. Maybe some players needed some time. Again, one thing I'll say, despite we play B team, and despite we played a lot of players who did not play much of the season, I still expected much from them. For example, Ceballos, you would expect, or Joselu, you would expect them, okay, these players don't get much chance. So this is the time they got some chance. Maybe they'll show something. They'll show some aggression that, okay, Carlo, we'll prove you wrong that why didn't you give us game time? Nope. They're like, Carlo, we're proving you right, that you're right. Honestly, I think the team who played today, whoever in the B team, they just don't have the right chemistry. As a result, we did not play our best. Again, we did not need to, right? At this point, it's all about saving energy, maybe have some fluency in playmaking and playing of some of the players because of the next game against Bayern Munich. Okay, let's discuss some of the key points from today's match. First of all, have you seen reaction by Kubo? Like he said, Sociedad was a much better team that deserved this victory. I don't know what's going on nowadays. Every rival player says this thing, they deserve this victory. Like, is there any trophy for deserved trophy? Like, what's going on? Like, back in the day, when opposite team wins, they'll say, okay, congrats. Now they say, no, we deserve better. We are the one who deserve. Like, what's going on? Why don't they have the humility and have the honesty to say, congrats, you deserve it? Second, Arda Guler's game time. Well, I have been discussing this point, I think, forever. I have been telling you that this guy is super talented. There's a reason why there's so much hype. Because every time he plays, even in some minute minutes, a small amount of time, he shows that he's super talented. He's scoring goals, he's assisting, he's giving you penalty. Like, he's insane. And you are saying that, oh, he doesn't deserve game time. No, you're wrong. Well, at least given that we're almost winning the title, now I at least hope to see him playing every match, next few matches. Like 5 matches left, I want to see Arda playing or starting every 5 matches. Another point I would like to say before going to the next match against Bayern Munich, Militao is not ready yet. Well, we know that coming back from ACL is not easy. One thing I say, we have won the biggest game, most difficult game probably this Champions League or this La Liga, whatever you say, is the game against City. And we have won that without Militao. So I think we should not make any rush decision to play him in first leg against Bayern Munich. I think we should play Rudiger or Nacho together as the defenders, but not Militao. I don't think he's ready. Don't forget, he's one of my favorite defender. I just don't think what I have seen based on today, he isn't ready yet. Anyway, let me know what did you think about our performance today.